This is mathheals.com, where you can find more YouTube links for math videos. Let's take a look at modeling and solving problems with quadratic equations. And these are based upon geometry. There's other ones you can do, but this particular topic we're going to look at in this lesson is just geometry. Now, our first problem says use a given area to find the missing sides of the rectangle. So we've got area is equal to 50. Try that again. So area is equal to 50, and this side is x, and this side is x minus 5. Now the area of a rectangle is equal to your length times your width. So in this case, we know area, that's 50, and our length is x, and our width is x minus 5. Now at this point we want to solve this, and no matter what, when you got parentheses, you always get rid of those. X times x is x squared, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. Now to solve something when it has an x squared, this is a quadratic, we want to get everything over one side and 0 on the other. So I'm going to take the 50 over, and we get x squared minus 5x minus 50. Now this is the PSD method. X squared x, no number in front of the x squared. So we'll take our 50 and create our 3 columns. Write down all the products, give us 50. 1 times 50, 2 times 25, 3 no, 4 no, 5 times 10. Add them. 1 plus 50 is 51, S for sum. 2 plus 25 is 27, 5 plus 10 is 15. Subtract them, D for difference. 50 minus 1 is 49, 25 minus 2 is 23, 10 minus 5 is 5. The number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, which is the 5. So we're going to use 5 and 10. So we've got x here, 5 and 10. Now our larger number in the P column, which is 10, and these are the numbers we're going to use. A larger number, which is 10, is going to be the same sign as the middle term, always. So that's negative. Number I circled in the difference column, D for different signs. So if this one's negative, this one has to be positive. Now zero factor property. Get 0 one side, you factor the other side. You're going to set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x plus 5 equal to 0, and x minus 10 equals 0. So we get x equals negative 5, and x is equal to positive 10. Now sometimes you'll get answers that are just bogus. X is equal to negative 5. That doesn't make any sense. We can't have a negative distance there, so throw that one away. So we got x equals 10. Now to find our dimensions, that would mean that this side is 10, because this is x, and this side would be 10 minus 5. So it'd have 10 minus 5, or it would be 5. So our length is 10, and our width is 5. Let's take a look at a triangle. So we got area is equal to 10. And this distance down here is x. And this height right here is 3x minus 28. Now I just make these numbers up, so don't think that the picture has anything to do with the actual size of these. This up here, that might even be halfway close. If that distance is 5, then this is a little bit over that. But again, I'm not trying to make everything geometrically accurate and so forth. Now we got a formula for the area for a triangle. It's equal to 1/2 base times height. Now area, they tell us, is 10. Base is this bottom side, so that's x. And height is this dotted line right here, which would be 3x minus 28. Now when solving anything, we get rid of parentheses. So I'm going to take 1/2 x times 3x and times negative 28. So we got 1/2 x times 3x and 1/2 x times negative 28. Well, 1/2 times 3 gives you 3/2. X times x is x squared. And 1/2 times negative 28 gives you a negative 14 with an x. Now, we never want fractions, so we'll multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the fractions. Two times 10 is 20. Those 2's would cancel. Gives us 3x squared minus 28x. And now we're solving this, so we want to get everything with everything over one side and 0 on the other. So I'm going to take 20 over. And we get 0 is equal to 3x squared minus 28x minus 20. This is the key number. We got x squared, x, no x, and there's a number in front of our x squared. Well, with the key number, we take the number at the beginning times the number at the end, ignoring signs. So we got 3 times 20 gives us 60. We got 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, and 6 times 10. Writing down all the products give us 60. Add these. 1 plus 60 is 61, 2 plus 30 is 32, 3 plus 20 is 23, 4 plus 15 is 19, 5 plus 12 is 17, 6 plus 10 is 16. Subtract them. 60 minus 1 is 59, 30 minus 2 is 28, 20 minus 3 is 17, 15 minus 4 is 11, 12 minus 5 is 7, and 10 minus 6 is 4. Number we're looking for is a number on our middle term, which is 28, which is right here, which means we're going to use 2 and 30. Now remember, with the key number method, we rewrite our middle term using those 2 numbers. Our larger number, which is 30, is going to be the same sign as our middle term. So we have negative 30x. The number we circled is in a difference column, D for different signs. So if 30 is negative, then the 2 will be positive. Well, I want to use factoring by grouping. So here I'll factor a 3x out, and that gives us x minus 10. And here we'll factor out a 2, and that gives us x minus 10. Well, now they both have an x minus 10, so I'll factor that out, and that gives us 3x plus 2. Now, zero factor property. You get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x minus 10 equal to 0 and 3x plus 2 equal to 0, which gives us 10. And here I take the 2 to the right side, becomes a negative 2, and divide both sides by 3. And we get x is equal to negative 2/3. Now again, a negative distance doesn't make any sense, so we're just going to go with 10. So let's go up here. We now got x is equal to 10. That means that this side right down here is a distance of 10. Now they're wanting this height also. So if I plug 10 in here, I got 3 times 10 minus 28. 30 minus 28, or 2. So those would be your answers. Now again, you're looking at that, well, it's like, that can't be 2. If this is 10, that has to be like 8 or something like that. Again, I haven't tried to draw these so that everything's proportionally correct and everything. So anyway, those are our answers. And time to start a new page. Let's look at our next problem. I got this picture right here. Not that I can draw it. But this one's x plus 2. Area is equal to 84. And this distance right here is 3x plus 2. Now this is a parallelogram. This side here is parallel to this one, and this side here is parallel to this one. So our area of a parallelogram is equal to our area of a parallelogram is base times height. Well, area we said was 84. Our base is this bottom piece, which is 3x plus 2. And our height is this dotted line, which is x plus 2. Now we want to solve this, and this side's already factored, so it seems like we'd set each factor equal to 0, but there isn't a 0 over here. So first thing we have to do is get rid of the parentheses, get everything over one side, and then refactor it. Well, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the 84 over. So we've got 3x squared. 6x plus 2x is 8x. Plus 4 minus the 84. Which gives us 3x squared plus 8x minus 80. Well, now we want to factor this. X squared x, no x, number in front of our x squared, that's the key number. Excuse me. So we'll take our number at the beginning times the number at the end, ignoring signs. So 3 times 80 is 240. And we got 1 times 240, 2 times 120, 3 times 80, 4 times 60, 5 times that's not right. Okay, let me try that again. I don't usually get to 10 before I draw a blank. Let me go, that's in there. 4 times 48. 6 times 40. 7, don't think so. No. 8 times 30. 9. No. 10. 10 times 24. 11. No. 12. 12 times 20. 13. Don't think so. 14. Probably not. 15. Yeah, 15 times something. Let's see. 1. And then that give me 90. So that'd be 6. I think that's right. Well, we'll add them. 1 plus 240 is 241. 122. 83. 64. 53. 46. 38. 34. 32. 21? Yeah, or no, 31. Helps to actually be able to do basic math, which I seem to be lacking in. 240 minus 1 is 239. 120 minus 2 is 118. 80 minus 3 is 77. 60 minus 4 is 56. 43. 34. 22. 14. 8 and 1. I'll blame any math errors on the fact that Twilight just came on TV, and it just disgusts me to have that on. I just offended all of you Twilight fans. It's not a real Halloween type movie. It shouldn't be on this close to Halloween. Number we're looking for. Urban Legend was just on. I love that movie. This one I hate. But I'm too lazy to shut it off. So the number we're looking for is 8, which is right here. So we're going to use 12 and 20. Okay. With the key number method, we're going to rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. Our larger number in the P column, which is 20, is going to be the same sign as our middle term. So this is plus 20x. Number has circles in difference column, D for different signs. So if this one's positive, the other one has to be negative. And now use factor by grouping. First group has an x in common, and that leaves us 3x plus 20. Second one has a negative 4, and that leaves us 3x plus 20. Now they both have a 3x plus 20, so I factor that out, and that leaves me x minus 4. Now zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equal to 0. So I got 3x plus 20 equals 0, and x minus 4 equal to 0. Do the easy one first, x equals 4. Now in this one, if I take the 20 over, it becomes a negative 20. And you see a problem right there. You can't have a negative distance. But let's continue. Divide both sides by 3. And we get x is equal to negative 20 over 3. Now, a negative number down here isn't necessarily bad, but if I plug him in up here, I would get a negative distance. So I can't have that. So the only one I'm going to be worried about is the x equals 4. So let's come up here. X is equal to 4. That means that this right here is going to be 4 plus 2, because x is 4, which gives us 6. So our height is 6. Now if I put 4 in down here, I got 3 times 4 plus 2, 12 plus 2, or 14. So our height is 6, and our base is 14. And I don't know if I have room down here for... Yeah, I guess I do. For the next one. Here we're given a quadrilateral. And look on here for a good picture of it. So that's x minus 3, and this is 2x minus 8. And area is equal to 35. Now some of these, I'll tell you right up front, I had to look up the formulas for, but I don't remember what the area of a quadrilateral is. So I got that right in front of me here. 1/2 h times, then the sum of little b plus big B. So you're adding your two sides, like two bases. So the bottom one here and top one. Okay, area we said was 35, 1/2 h. Were we given h? Oh, x. I just didn't write it down. Okay, so that's x. And then add these two sides together. So I got x minus 3 plus 2x minus 8. So we'll do what's inside the parentheses first. X plus 2x is 3x. Negative 3, negative 8 is negative 11. Now we want to multiply the 1/2 x through. So we'll multiply it times that and times that. So we've got 35 equals 3/2 x squared. 1/2 times 3 is 3/2, and x times x is x squared. 1/2 times negative 11 is negative 11/2 x. Now we want to get rid of fractions, so we'll multiply everything by 2. So we'll take 2 times 35 and 2 times 3/2 x squared and 2 times negative 11/2 x. That gives us 70. Here the 2's cancel, and we got 3x squared. Here the 2's cancel, we got minus 11x. Now we're wanting to solve this, and so I want to get everything over one side, 0 on the other. So I'll take 70 over to the right side. So we got 3x squared minus 11x minus 70. Now continue it up here. So 3x squared minus 11x minus 70. This is a key number. We got x squared, x, no x, and there's a number in front of our x squared. So we'll take 3 times 70, which gives us 210. We got 1 times 210, 2 times 105, 3 times 70, 5 times 42, 6, yeah, 6 times 35, 7 times 30, 8, no, 9, no, 10 times 21. Actually, that's the one I want right there, but let me see if I can spot any other ones. Probably not. I can't go much higher than that without a calculator. If I go ahead and add those, 211, 107, 73, 47, 41, 37, 31, subtract them, 209, 103, 67, 37, 29, 23, and 11. Number we're looking for is 11, which is right here. That's why I knew I had my part I needed for my problem. Maybe. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you have 11 here and you have 11 in this column. Well, it'll be obvious once we go through whether it works. So our larger number, which is 21, has to be the same sign as our middle term, which is negative. Now, a number of circles in the difference column, D for different signs. So if the 21 is negative, then the 10 has to be positive. I'm going to use factoring by grouping. First group has a 3x in common, and that gives me x minus 7. Second group has a 10 in common, and that gives us x minus 7. Now they both have an x minus 7, so I'll factor that out. And that leaves us 3x plus 10. Zero factor property. You get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x minus 7 equal to 0, and 3x plus 10 equal to 0. And we get 7. And here, if I take 10 over, it becomes a negative 10. And if I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get x is equal to negative 10 thirds. Now, we can't have a negative distance, so that one doesn't even make any sense. So we got x equals 7. So if I come up here, that means my height is 7. This one would be 7 minus 3, which means this distance is 4. And this one would be 2 times 7 minus 8, 14 minus 8, which gives us 6. Now you're sitting there looking at that, and you're sitting, well, this distance, if that's 7, there's no way that's 4. Again, these aren't proportionally drawn. I haven't made any kind of effort in that regard. Anyway, those are our answers. Let me start a new document, and then let's take a look at this one. This is a right triangle. This is x. This is x plus 7, and this is 17. A right triangle means you have a sharp corner like this. If we were in trig, or exploring this further, that's 90 degrees. And then this side over here is your hypotenuse, and these are your sides. Now what the Pythagorean theorem says, and this is assuming I'm spelling Pythagorean right, is that if you got a triangle has a 90 degrees, and this side's A, this side's B, and this side's C, then A squared plus B squared is going to equal to C squared. The side that's opposite that 90 degrees is called your hypotenuse. That's always by itself on this side. So for this problem, that means we're going to take this side squared plus this side squared is going to equal to this side squared. I think that's 289, but let me plug that in my calculator. 17 squared, 289. And then we have the x squared here, and x plus 7 squared means x plus 7 times x plus 7. Well, x times x is x squared, x times 7 is 7x, 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times 7 is 49. Equals 289. Combine together like terms. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 7x plus 7x is 14x. And I'm wanting to solve this, so I know I need to get everything over on one side and 0 on the other. So I'll bring the 289 over. It becomes a negative 289. So we got 2x squared plus 14x. I think that's minus 240, but let me double check it on my calculator. Having Twilight on is just blowing my mind. Actually, no offense to those who like it. I never have watched it. So it's a love story, and I don't like love stories. Now I'm factoring out my GCF first, which is 2. So that gives me x squared plus 7x minus 120 equal to 0. Now what's inside the parentheses? This is a PSD. We got x squared, x, no x, and there's no number in front of our x squared. So we'll use the PSD method. Take the number at the end, ignoring signs, so 120, and we're going to create our columns. P column, we write down all products, give us 120. 1 times 120, 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 4 times 30, 5 times 24, 6 times 20, 8 times 15. There's our 7 right there, but let me see if I can continue. 9, I don't think so. 10 times 12. Okay, we'll add them. 1 plus 120 is 121. 2 plus 60 is 62. 43, 34, 29, 26, 23, 22. Subtract them. 120 minus 1 is 119. 60 minus 2 is 58. 37, 26, 19, 14, 7, and 2. Number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, which is 7, which is right here. So we're going to use 8 and 15. So we got 8 and 15. Our larger number in the P column that we're using is 15. It'll be the same size as the middle term, which is positive. Number I circled over in a difference column, D for different signs. So if this one's positive, this one's negative. Now, zero factor property says you get 0 on one side and you got the other side factored. You set each factor equal to 0. Now, if we set 2 equal to 0, x minus 8 equal to 0, and x plus 15 equal to 0, we're solving for x. So this doesn't even have an x in it, so we don't even need to worry about that. When you're dealing with a zero factor property, you never need to set numbers equal to 0. Now here I'll take negative 8 over, it becomes a positive 8. And here I'll take 15 over and becomes a negative 15. Now if I were to put negative 15 in for x, this side would be a distance of negative 15, which doesn't make any sense. So we're also going to cross that one off. So the only one we're working with is x equals 8. Well, x is equal to 8 means this side is 8. And this side would be 8 plus 7, which would give us 15. And that's all of our missing sides. I think the last problem in that section. Yes, it is. So let me save this.